Hello everyone, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ro and my wonderful husband behind the camera is David, and we are so happy to be back on the road. These last 4 months we have spent in our home state of Indiana working on getting some doctor's appointments and stuff figured out, and it is so nice to be here. As you can see, it's sunny. It's actually warm outside today. Oh, it's such a massive and awesome difference from snow, ice, and cold in Indiana. And we're almost celebrating 4 years on the road. That'll be just in about 3 months. We'll be celebrating 4 years of living full-time in our RV. But our RV is actually almost 5 years old. It was manufactured in May of 2016, and we bought it and moved into it in April of 2017. So this trailer is almost 5 years old despite not living in it for 5 years. And as a 5-year-old, pretty cheap trailer, we do expect things to start falling apart. We've actually had a lot of things go wrong with our trailer over these last 4 years of living in it, but we never expected something quite so shocking as what happened when we pulled into this campsite.
So the trip from Indiana to Arizona was really long, as you can imagine. It was over 1,800 miles, and we did that in 3 days, just overnighting. Once we started to get tired, we just found a parking lot to overnight in and then continued on, Walmarts and Cracker Barrels. And the final day was about a 10-hour travel, or about 10 hours on the road. So as you can imagine, we were pretty road weary, but we finally made it to this awesome site. We pull in, I get out of the truck, I open the door to our trailer, and I walk in. What do I see? Our entire stove unit, the whole thing, just face down on the floor of our trailer. It had just completely separated from its mounting and just bump right down. And I just went and I got Ro and I brought her in and I was, you gotta see this. And I show it to her, and while a part of us was shocked to see that, another part of us was like, yeah, that's about right. Like Rose said, we've got a 5-year-old unit that we full-time in. We've taken this place all over the country and down some really rough back roads. And, it's starting to show its age, obviously. But, the first thing, well, I guess the second thing after I showed Ro is I remembered, wait, there's a propane line attached to this thing. I better make sure that that's okay, there's no leaks. And sure enough, it wasn't broken. We didn't have any propane leaking from it, so it was still safe. And then the next thing I did is I just looked and saw how this stove was mounted. And there's 4 screws. I can sort of, I can pop this thing off real easy. And there's 4 screws just mounted here and here, and here and here, and those were just completely broken off of the countertop. And so all we did overnight, we just picked this up, we set it back on these flanges, and it, this is still loose, but these little flanges are still holding the stove on. But I'm gonna fix it today. And yeah, we noticed that the countertop here is just made out of particle board, and with these screws ran into it and all the vibration that travel trailers experience, it's only 4 screws holding this thing to particle board. It's something that is clearly going to fail eventually. This design is not made for longevity at all. And really the only way that I can see to fix this without getting actual wooden countertops, not particle board, I'm just going to basically drill 3 more holes on each side to have 6 screws. And then I'm just gonna run screws back in through those holes because, like I said, the holes that these screws go into are just completely destroyed. The screws pulled out and they pulled all the wood out with them, and it's just trashed. But that's really the only way I can see to fix this for now. So first I need to take these 2 burners off because they're going to be in the way of my drill, and super easy to get these off. There's just a screw that mounts a bracket that holds these on. Take those screws out, and then the whole, oh, it's attached to this screwdriver. The whole burner just slides right out. That's it. And then I'm just gonna take a drill and drill in through this sheet metal 3 more holes. You know, just one on the outside, one in the middle, and then one on the front side. And I'm gonna do that on both sides. And then using some nice long wood screws, we will run these in through those holes, securing the stove to the side of the countertop. And then on the underside of the stove, this board right here used to be connected about here, and it sort of supported the underside of the stove. It's got 2 brackets, one here and one here, but this board just completely broke off, and it was still connected to the stove, you know, right here and right here, but it was like crunched down under the stove because it had fallen out this way. And so these 2 tabs are bent way in, so I just have a channel lock, and I'm gonna grip these tabs and just sort of bend them back out so we can get this board back in there. So these metal tabs that you might not be able to see, look like this, that were holding that board in. Just grabbing with the channel locks and then just twisting inward and pulling, and it's ripping those out so that we can then try and get this board into place back where it was before it was ripped out. There we go. I'm just gonna reuse the screws that were on this board because they didn't pull out, surprisingly. They held. Then I'm gonna run a couple screws in diagonally from this board up into this board. And then we've got this little cover. And there we go. Nice and secure.
That's not going anywhere.
I know. It's great. And then we can go ahead and replace our burners. If you've never taken these off, they're so easy. The end tube just slips right on, and then we can secure that bracket with the same sheet metal screw. Same thing for the other side. And then we can put this top assembly back on. Done! Our stove is nice and secure again. It ain't going anywhere. This whole thing is solid. Solid once more for maybe another 5 years. Hopefully. Maybe longer. Please. Please!
I am so happy to have the oven fixed. When we walked in here, I think that we were both just pretty silent. We stared at it and we both just went, that's about right.
Yup. Yup.
Not surprised, really. More just shocked that it happened that day, but not really all that surprised. And we have had things break in our RV over the years, and this is something that has straight up completely fallen out of its normal placeholder. So this is a first for us.
Definitely a first, yeah. For an entire appliance, just a bloop.
It makes me a little worried about, like, our fridge. Is our fridge held in the same weird way?
Oh my gosh, could you imagine the entire fridge assembly just on its face?
Just fallen out of the wall.
I
can't even, nope.
I will say, though, that appliance failures, like major appliance failures, have got to be right around the corner. Like furnace, water heater, refrigerator. We're ready for them. We are mentally prepared. You know, this issue, this stove breaking the way that it did has definitely mentally prepared us for our RV to break and fail in weird and unexpected ways. So, like, at least it has done that for us.
Yeah.
No, we're ready. And
we almost always have some little thing, though, that is, like, broken, sort of, or falling apart, or not working properly. For example, right now, our propane detector, which sits underneath our stove, is faulty. I think that it still works, but it randomly goes off when there isn't propane on the
in the middle of the night.
Yeah, just...
Typically, I don't think it's ever really gone off during the day. It's just in the middle of the night. Wakes us up, screeching.
Very loud at like 3 in the morning.
And then one of our walls has been separating, and we've re-stapled it, but the staples have just pushed right back out, so I'm probably gonna have to find a way to screw it in.
Yeah.
And our Max fan.
Yeah. We actually just figured this one out. It was literally the day we were getting ready to leave. As we were like pulling all of the Reflectix out of the windows and out of the Max fan, we opened it up because we were going to dry it off. Even though it was really cold outside, we were going to dry it off and let the Max fan run for a second. And it wouldn't turn on. So David took like the cover from the inside out and was just trying to get that area dried out, thinking maybe there's just moisture back there and that's what's wrong. Nope. Now we're here where it's dry and it's still not working.
Yeah. So I mean, probably going to make a video on that, like fixing that Max fan so that I can share with you guys how it needs to be done. I'm hoping I don't need to remove the entire assembly and do a full reinstall. Hopefully I can get to the control board or just the fan motor, diagnose those, figure out what the issue is.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, we'll probably make a video on that repair.
Hoping it's just parts that need replaced and not the whole thing.
Yep.
We'll see.
But just know, basically the entire point of this video is if you've got an RV, it's gonna break in weird and unexpected ways. So just be ready for the repairs.
In the most inopportune moments, like when you're arriving at a campsite for the first time and now you get to use your stove all you want. And actually, now that it's fixed, I'm so excited. I have a pack of cookies that I was gonna make and I couldn't make it because the oven was broken.
And nice cold milk.
And nice cold milk. Ah, I'm ready to make some cookies.
None for you though.
I'm sorry.
Sweetie girl, none
chocolate
for
in
you.
them.
None for the doggy.
No cookies.
Well, we've got peanut butter treats for her though.
She can have doggy cookies. Yes.
But that's all for this video. We'll see you guys next time.
I didn't even say it. Bye.
Were you saying bye?